सहना भवतु सहनो भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ नमो नारायणाय। ॐ नमो नारायणाय। स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः देवाय तस्मै नमः। Humble prostrations to one and all present here. So this year we are going to take the 9th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Last year we handled 8th chapter. Now we go to the 9th chapter. This chapter is very famous for very many of its famous verses. Very many of the verses famously quoted are from this chapter. This chapter is a very devotion-oriented chapter. Name bhakta pranashyati, that comes in this chapter. Yoga kshemam vahamyaham, that comes in this chapter. Patram pushpam bhalam toyam yome bhaktya prayachati, that also comes in this chapter. These are all the famous verses. And one of the most controversial verse also comes in this chapter. That we will see at that time. Okay. So this chapter is a very, very interesting chapter. Some of them love this chapter the most. The most complicated verse also comes in this chapter. So, therefore, this chapter is a beautiful chapter. And what is the name of this chapter? Rajavidya Rajaguhya Yoga. One of the biggest names also is for this chapter. Rajavidya Rajaguhya Yoga. Rajavidya is a royal knowledge. Rajaguhya is a royal secret. So this name actually is taken from this chapter only. In the second verse, this term comes. So based on this term, this chapter is named. So now let us enter into this chapter. Repeat once. Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha. Atha Navamodhyayah. Rajavidya Rajaguhya Yogah. Shri Bhagavanuvacha. Idam tu te guhyatamam. Pravakshyamyanasuyave. Jnanam vijnana sahitam. Yajñātvā mukṣyase shubhāt. Together. Idam tu te guhyatamam. Pravakshyamyanasuyave. Jnanam vijnana sahitam. Yajñātvā mukṣyase shubhāt. Yes. So Bhagavan says, Sri Bhagavan Uvacha. Arjuna. What is the name given to Arjuna here? Anasuyave. That's how Bhagavan calls Arjuna. Anasuyave. Hey Anasuyave. Idam tute. Now I will give you guhyatamam jnanam. I will give you that knowledge which is guhyatamam, the greatest secret. Guhyam, guhyataram, guhyatamam. Just like good, better, best. In the same way, guhyam, secret. Guhyataram, a greater secret. Guhyatamam, greatest secret. I am going to reveal it to you. Guhyatamam jnanam, that knowledge which is the greatest secret in this world. Not only I will give you jnanam, I will give you vijnana sahitam jnanam. Along with vijnana, I will give you jnana. What is vijnana? Experiential knowledge. So not only I will give you this knowledge, I will also tell you how to experience it, so that it becomes your direct experience. It will not merely remain as a theoretical knowledge, it will become an experiential knowledge. So you will no more say, I have faith in God. You will say, I know God. That is called as Vijnana Sahitam Jnanam. Arjuna, I will give that knowledge to you. What is the benefit of this knowledge? Yajñātva, knowing which, Ashubhat mokshyase. You will be free, mokshyase. From what? Ashubham. Ashubham means what? Inauspiciousness. What is the greatest inauspiciousness in this world? The greatest inauspiciousness which everybody can understand. See, ignorance, if you say, nobody will know what it is. Dukkham. Greatest inauspiciousness is sorrow, disturbance of the mind, agitation. You will be free from all that. That is the glory of this knowledge. You see how Bhagavan is attracting the attention of the listener. The moment you listen, Hare, I want to listen. All the ears are now straight. So, now let us start with this Sambodhana of Bhagavan. Anasuyave. Every word is beautiful. Anasuyave. Asuya means what? It is generally translated as jealousy. Asuya means jealousy. So, Anasuyu means the one who is non-jealous. We think how that word has something to do with here. Why should Arjuna be jealous of God? So here, Bhagavan Shankaracharya defines Asuya. Beautiful. Guneshu dosha avishkaranam Asuya. Guneshu dosha avishkaranam. There is something good and you invent some defect in it. That is called as Asuya. You don't see defect, you invent a defect. What is invention? Avishkaranam is the term used. Something which is not there, with great difficulty, you dig out something which is actually not there. So now, this is the beauty of Sanskrit. You see, the synonym of Asuya is Irshya. Another synonym is Matsarya. Mada Matsarya. All these are Asuya only. But you see, every word indicates something else other than jealousy. When you are jealous, what happens to you? How do you react when that emotion possesses you? That information is also present in that word. For example, when you are jealous of somebody, when do you become jealous of somebody? You are strongly attached to a thing and somebody possesses more than what you possess. Then the emotion called is jealousy. Two conditions are necessary for jealousy. I must value a thing, and that thing somebody is having much more than what I have. Suppose I don't value a thing and somebody has much more. I will not be jealous of that person. I am valuing something. So that is why jealousy is always in the same field. Two different people in two different fields, they will not have jealousy. In the same field, they will have jealousy. Two children studying in the same class, they will have jealousy. Two singers will have jealousy. Two businessmen in the same field, they will have jealousy. So now, this jealousy takes different expressions. When you are jealous, how do you try to come out of this feeling? Because that jealousy is a miserable feeling. It disturbs the mind. How do you come out? It depends on in which situation you are in. Suppose you can improve your performance and beat that person, then that emotion is called Matsarya. Matsarya means a competitive feeling. Matta sarati iti matsaraha. Mat saraha. The one who is moving ahead of me, I am not liking it, so therefore I put forth effort. This is called as matsara. Competition. So if you can compete and defeat, you will try that. Then that feeling is called Matsarya. But suppose you can't compete. That fellow is a horse and you are a donkey. Then how much ever you run, then the feeling is called Irshya. You burn. Irshya. You burn. You burn from within. Now how to get rid of this burning feeling? Because I am inferior and somebody is superior, and there is no way in which I can beat that person. He is far, far ahead. Then comes that Irsha takes another form that is called as Asuya. What do? I start finding fault in that person. Saying that, that fellow is winning because of this. He is doing so many things. He must have bribed somebody. He must have done this. So then I start finding defect in him, and then I pull him down. Then there is a joy. Because now I have proved that he is inferior to me. See, these are all egoistic satisfactions. My ego doesn't want anybody to be ahead of me. So whoever is ahead of me, physically I cannot beat him, so I want to psychologically prove that he is inferior to me. Find a defect in that person. So after finding defect, now there is a satisfaction. There is a relief. You see? How that jealousy expresses in different forms. These are all the expressions of ego only. I am not able to wholeheartedly congratulate that person, celebrate in his happiness. Not possible. A person who is possessed with ego can never do this. So that is called as Asuya. See the beauty of Sanskrit. All these terms appear to be same, but actually they are not same. This beauty you don't find in English. All these words come from a root word, and from the root you develop that word. So now Bhagavan is calling Arjuna Anasuyave. Arjuna, you have this great virtue in you. That is why I want to give everything that I have to you. So here you will find that in this chapter, Arjuna doesn't ask a question. It is Bhagavan himself who is initiating to tell something which Arjuna has not asked. Generally the chapter begins with a question. Arjuna asks some question and then Bhagavan elaborates, clarifies his doubt. But here no such thing is given. Very many of the chapters you will find that Bhagavan himself takes the initiative. This is what happens when you are a very good student. What is a sign of a good student? He has faith, he has love for knowledge, he has sincerity, and that body language itself shows how much that person is interested in gaining knowledge. When you find such a great listener, interested listener, sincere listener, then you feel like pouring out whatever you have to that person. Just like the mother cow releasing the milk for its calf, in the same way, the Guru feels like telling everything in front of a disciple who is ready to listen, has full faith in knowledge, never finds fault. So all these virtues Arjuna has. Therefore this term, Anasuyave. Anasuyave means what? Arjuna, whatever I have said, you never found fault with it. There are times when Arjuna has questioned Bhagavan. But that questioning also was with a noble intention. You see, questioning by itself is not bad. With what intention you question, that is important. If the questioning is done to prove the other person wrong, if the questioning is done to ridicule the person, to rate the person, to evaluate that person, if the questioning is done to prove that the other person is inferior, then yes. But here, all those questionings of Arjuna was always with great devotion. Bhagavan, of course, there is nothing wrong in asking question. Many times we are not clear about certain concept. You must ask question. But asking question should be with Shraddha Bhakti. With devotion, with faith, with all reverence. This is how Arjuna has asked question. So Arjuna, you are such a wonderful person, a pure-hearted person. You have never found any fault in the teaching. Though very many times these teachings doesn't relate to our experience. This is another factor about spirituality. In spirituality, losing faith is very easy. Because many of the statements, they don't relate to our experience. For example, spirituality says the whole world is an illusion. What is our experience? World is absolutely real. Spirituality says, I don't even exist. What is our experience? I alone exist. Spirituality says, there is God. What is my experience? There is no God. So whatever I experience, spiritual statements appear to contradict it. Spirituality says, happiness is within. When I look within, there is only misery and boredom. Spirituality says, happiness is not outside. But I really find happiness outside only. Left to myself, I am miserable. So therefore, every statement is contradicting. So it is very easy to, say that all these are, at least not for me. So therefore, Arjuna's attitude was not like that. He was saying, Bhagavan, if you have said it, that must be right. Maybe my analysis is wrong. My understanding is wrong. This attitude is the ideal attitude of a Shishya. Bhagavan, if you have said it, that must be right. That is called as Shraddha, total faith. The person Shraddhavan labhate jnanam. In the path of spirituality, the first thing you need is Shraddha, this kind of faith. As that definition of faith says, faith is the belief in what you do not see, and the reward is you start seeing what you believed in. In the beginning, you start without seeing, but slowly, as you advance in spirituality, you start seeing what you believed in. So in the beginning, faith is absolutely necessary. So therefore, all these virtues we find in Arjuna, and therefore Bhagavan is giving this highest knowledge to Arjuna. In the 4th chapter, Bhaktosi me sakha cheti, Bhagavan says, Arjuna, I will give you this knowledge because you are my bhakta, you are my devotee. What is that story which proves Arjuna's devotion? So that story, I am sure you must be knowing it. Before the war, Duryodhana and Arjuna approaches Krishna. Krishna says, see, both of you have come. I don't want to disappoint both of you. So therefore, I put a condition. Do you want me? I will not fight the war. I will not take any weapon. Do you want me or do you want my army? Narayani Sena. Choose. Duryodhana thought, what is the use of this useless fellow if he is not taking any weapon? In the war, what is most important is army. And Bhagavan had a wonderful army. Narayani Sena it is called. So Duryodhana said, I want the army. What did Arjuna say? Bhagavan, you be with me. That is enough. It doesn't matter whether you take weapon or not. What I want is you should always be with me. This is the sign of a true devotee. Bhagavan, you put me in poverty, doesn't matter. You put me through humiliation, doesn't matter. Bhagavan, you put me through disease, doesn't matter. But you be with me. This is a sign of a true devotee. So Arjuna was a great devotee in that sense. Not only that, Arjuna was a very good human being. You see, spirituality is meant for a good human being. A pure-hearted person. This is the qualifications for spirituality. Are you a good human being? Straightforward person, humble person. Then this path is, the kingdom of heaven is open for you then. If you see Arjuna, he was a beautiful human being. Look at him. He was such an obedient son to his mother. He won Draupadi and all the 5 brothers came to Kunti. They said, Mother, see what we have brought for you. What did she say, Kunti? Share, whatever you have brought, share amongst all. He just obeyed. And then he was a very obedient brother also. In that dice game, Yudhishthira, he was keeping one brother after another at stake. When Arjuna was kept at stake, he never questioned. When Arjuna was lost to Kaurava, he never questioned. Silently he just, These are great ability, especially obedience is amazing ability. It is not obedience out of fear. Please keep this in mind. He was number one archer in the world. Obedience out of fear is very different. Yes, my elder brother has said something, I will just obey. My mother has said something, I will just obey. And look at his control over the senses. In the heavens, Urvashi herself comes to his apartment. Apsara, the most beautiful lady. What was his reaction? He said, Mother, you are the consort of Indra. Indra is my father. So therefore, you deserve the status of a mother. Look at the control of the senses. So by all means, Arjuna was amazing. Even in the battlefield, whatever Bhagavan said, he would just do it. He will never think whether it is dharma, adharma, etc. Bhagavan, have you said it? Full stop, it is done. Karna's wheel was stuck in the muck. He was busy trying to lift his wheel of that chariot. According to the law of warfare, you are not supposed to attack a person who is not attacking you. But then Bhagavan said, Arjuna, chop his head off. Arjuna said, Bhagavan, as you say. You see, it needs tremendous courage, clarity in thinking. In doing something adharma, when Bhagavan has said it. So these were the qualities of Arjuna. So therefore Bhagavan chooses Arjuna to give this great knowledge of Gita. So we have just explained one term, okay? What is that term? Anasuyave. Each and every term is packed. That is Bhagavad Gita. Hey, Anasuyave, to such a most qualified person, a pure-hearted person, a noble human being, idam tuti guhyatamam pravakshyami. I will give you the greatest because you deserve the best. The best ones deserve the best. Guhyatamam jnanam pravakshyami, vijnana sahitam pravakshyami. Something which you can directly experience. Knowing which, Arjuna, this knowledge is very important. I want you to gain this knowledge. I don't want you to ignore this knowledge. Because this knowledge has a great result. And what is the result? The result is Ashubhat mokshase. You will be free from all sufferings. You will be free from all sorrows in life, all miseries in life. The next verse is also a glorification of this knowledge, a beautiful knowledge. Let us chant this verse. Next class we can see the meaning. Raja Vidya Raja Guhyam Pavitramidamuttamam Pratyakshaavagamam Dharmyam Susukham Kartumavyayam Raja Vidya Raja Guhyam Pavitramidamuttamam Pratyakshaavagamam Dharmyam Susukham Kartumavyayam. So different terms are used here to describe that knowledge. It is Raja Vidya, Rajaguhyam, Uttamam Pavitram, Pratyaksha Avagamam, Dharmyam, Susukham Kartum, and Avyayam. So the meanings of these words we will see in the next class. So here comes Rajavidya Rajaguhyam. So that is why the name of the chapter is Rajavidya Rajaguhya Yoga. More of it in the next class. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramayah, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschit Dukkha Bhag Bhavet, Asato Ma Sadgamaya, Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya, Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.